It's going to be tough. I like the Vols, but I don't know if they can get by Georgia.
I'm a homer there. I'm going to go Tennessee. They'll get it done somehow.
It'll definitely be somehow because, watching the games, I don't know how that's going to happen. Georgia's a really good football team, playing even better every week. I think Tennessee's struggling a little right now on both sides of the ball. Tennessee's fans really going to have to be a big factor to pull this one out. They're going to have to make Georgia really uncomfortable.
Coach, that's going to be our last pick right there. I'm going Vols all the way. I'm a VFL. I love Tennessee Vols. Hey, we're going to Greenville Friday, 7 o'clock kickoff right there, Burley Stadium. Be sure you get up there early.
Welcome to another exciting, great edition of Graham's Gridiron Guidance. I'm your host, Coach DJ Pendergrass, here with the one, the only, the man, the myth, the legend, the guru, Coach Kwayu Graham. How you doing, Coach?
Doing all right, sir. How you doing?
Blessed, man. It's always blessed to see you. And we have an amazing, one of Coach Graham's teammates came in today. I know him from the sidelines. I know him from his commercial right here on BBB 12. But you have Mr. Scotty Dykes. How you doing, Coach?
I'm doing great. How you doing today?
Good to see you. Now, tell me something slick so I can slide.
I wish I could, but I ain't got nothing for you.
So, Coach Graham.
Yes, sir.
It was a crazy week last week.
Yeah.
It was a crazy week.
Some good football played. Second round games are the games that's when they start separating themselves.
Mm-hmm.
You know, usually first round, the teams that are supposed to win.
Mm-hmm.
The second round is when you can have some surprises. And it was some good games, not just surprises, but some good games that some of the games that I watched, both teams had chances.
Absolutely.
And so that's what it's about. That's what this season is about.
Yeah, absolutely. And I want to, and it's sort of out of what we do here, but I want to give a huge shout out to Catholic. Catholic went to Memphis and knocked off the #1 team in the state.
Yeah.
And that was huge for them, so they're moving on to round 3. So congratulations to those guys out there at Catholic. That was good.
I'm hoping that little guy, that little return guy that they have, I hope he's in our. I don't even know if he's in our All-Star game or not. But
who's number 11?
The one, he basically beat the team by himself.
Man, dude, he's nice, man.
He's nice. Yeah, Tennessee offered him.
Well, he's a sophomore.
No, this kid's is he a sophomore?
Yeah, he's a sophomore.
Oh, he's a sophomore.
He is.
I didn't know that.
I think ranked 7th in his class in the state. No, hold on. Is that nation or state? Anyway, he's ranked up there in his class. And he is a sophomore. He's gonna be nice.
Yeah, he's special. He's special.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, I know who that is.
Yeah.
That's who that is.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. Yeah, he's nice. So shout out to him.
The real Keith something else, ain't it?
Oh shoot, Scotty, tell me something that you seen last week that was interesting to you.
Well, I was at the Oak Ridge Clinton game.
You went?
I went to the game.
Man.
I was there in the stands, watched it. I mean, Oak Ridge is in control of the whole game.
Yeah.
And, see Oak Ridge have the 2 goal line stands. You think they're going to win the game. They go from the 1 yard line backed up, move the ball all the way to the 40, and 2 consecutive pass plays. On the second one, Clinton sends a blitz, fumble, recover, changed the whole momentum of the game.
Yeah.
Clinton took advantage of a couple of plays, and fortunately they're moving on. But really good game, a lot of talent on the field. Just great high school football game.
It was, man. I got to watch that game. I was sick, so I didn't go to the game. I didn't want to spread my germs. And I had to piggyback off what you said. I felt like Oak Ridge had the momentum the whole time. But one thing one of my coaches always told me, Coach, is the eye in the sky don't lie. Although I was not there, the view I had from watching on TV, Coach, was the best view I possibly had. And not one time did I see Clinton waver, even after the 2 goal line stances.
No. I think for Clinton, and I said this, I done got beat up about always saying that they have a team that you better watch out. Mm-hmm. They are a playoff caliber team that has players, and when they're confident and they're put in position and prepared, they will be hard to beat. They'll be a hard out. But Clinton has been through it, man. I mean, you talk about kids majority of their kids seniors that started as freshmen. They did go 1-9, but they started as freshmen. And then if you look and seeing how Coach Keefe has built that program, let's look. I was talking about to someone the other day. You have to think about Clinton this year. Let's just look at this year. Clinton's schedule played 4 teams in the last 3 years that played in the state championship game.
That's how you get it.
Okay.
That's how you get ready.
So 4 of the teams that played in the state championship game in the last 3 years, Clinton has played. 3 of them won the state championship. So those kids have seen it. You know, I was telling somebody, Dozier's one of my favorite kids, not just backs, just a kid. Him and several other kids at the school that I see every day. But they've seen great backs.
Yeah.
Receiver skill position.
Right.
You remember Powell and all the receivers they had?
Oh, yeah.
They played against them guys 3 years.
Okay.
So all those, you see where I'm going with this?
Yeah,
That's why Josh Keefe has been hit by the kid that's at Texas A&M and Souls and many others.
Absolutely.
So their line had to block them. These kids played as freshmen. So they have the moxie to compete. Then Coach Keefe, a couple other coaches, they're prideful folks, and they just always kept believing. I knew a lot about Clinton, and it's not just Clinton, several schools. When we talked about Herm, we talked about Rockwood, how Rockwood was, certain teams got it in them that they just have it in them. They just have a toughness. You can tell a lot about the character. When those kids, 2 years ago, they wasn't going to make the playoffs. They were going to play against Corns, who had an unbelievable running back.
Oh, yeah.
And they beat them, shut them down and beat them. Those kids could have quit. They could have quit. They knew they wasn't in the playoffs, but they didn't. Every day kids were at practice. Every day they practiced. Every day they dealt with Coach Keefe being Coach Keefe.
That's right.
So it just shows a lot about them. But let's not dismiss Oak Ridge either, since we're talking about that game. Oak Ridge seniors, as freshmen, went to the state championship.
Oh, yeah.
The next year, they went 3-7, bunch of coaching changes.
Yeah.
They went through a lot of changes. Let's not forget that this is Coach Rain and his staff's first year.
Absolutely.
And for them, to me, they're one of the top 5 teams in the state championship. I mean, in the state of Tennessee 5A. They're one of the top 5 teams. Right. And they lost.
They were top 25 in the state, but in the region,
they're a top 5 team in the state. And 5A football, and West has a great program. Lamar's doing a great job with that program. They have that championship pedigree, and also Powell. Matt. We sparred for a long time, but Matt does a great job with his team championship program. But I truly believe that Oak Ridge is the best team on this side of the bracket.
I agree.
If you just watch what they do, their offensive line got better each week. Defensive line the same way. Yeah. So when you look at the story of just that game, now we have other stories with the Oliver Springs and with the Oneida, Cofield. Yeah. That's great also. Right. But just that game, both teams, both coaching staffs should be commended. The kids, both fan bases. This in the last couple of years, that game has brought the rivalry back. Absolutely. So, and that's a good thing. That's a good thing.
I agree. Let's switch gears here just a minute. We want to recognize and remember Coach Carl Tarbush, former ETSU coach.
ETSU coach, not just that, Alabama's defensive coordinator, well-known, one of the top defensive coordinators in NCAA history, was a head coach at North Carolina, played at Carson Newman, was a great athlete at Carson Newman, was a baseball stud, but guess where else he played at?
Don't say Oak Ridge.
No.
I get into that. Austin East.
Austin East High School.
Austin East, really?
Yeah, a lot of people didn't know Carl Tarbush came from Austin East. I knew it because my godfather was one of his best friends growing up. And so Coach Tarbush knew me when I was a child, growing up, pretty much all my life. And when I became the head coach at Austin East, and this is what he said, hey, now you got to give me a jacket and a sweatshirt. And I sent him a sweatshirt. And every winter around February. He said, "Where my sweatshirt at?" If you know him, that's just the way he is. And because I said, "Coach, I don't have any sweatshirts. I can get you one to use." He said, "You're supposed to order your stuff in January." And he would tell me little things like that. You're slipping. Then when he went to Carson Newman, he was diagnosed with cancer. And he said, "I ain't gonna do nothing to me. I'm gonna whoop that too," because he was a tough person. And when I came back here, a lot of people don't know this, and I'm gonna share this. When I came back to Oak Ridge from North Carolina, I was told from administration one thing, but it didn't turn out to be true. I didn't have a job here. And I left North Carolina where I had a job,
right,
and they thought very highly of me to come back home, and I didn't have a job. Well, Carl became the head coach. Torbush became the head coach at East Tennessee State, and like I said, he's like family to me. So he knew the frustration and what was going on at my home, and we were like, "What are we gonna do?" And he told me, he said, "You got a job here." Him and Scotty knows Coach Morrow.
Okay.
They worked out a position to where I could have came up there. Now, I didn't like it because I had to stay up there and check dorms. Yeah. And at over 40 years old, that ain't up my alley, But I miss my babies and family at home. Mm-hmm. But he was willing. He was going to do that for me. And it was, I'm going to be honest with you, it was within 2 days I was going to make that decision. And I get a call from Oak Ridge telling me that there's an opportunity that they were able, to work out for me, and that's how I ended up coaching at Oak Ridge High School in 2013.
Nice. So, guys, we need to take a break. I do want to give a moment of silence for Coach Carl Torbush, so we're going to do that. So you take your moment of silence, and we're going to take our break. We'll be right back.
Hi, I'm State Farm Agent Scotty Dykes. While the insurance industry has changed over the years, our office offers auto, home, life, mortgages, and many other banking services, including retirement planning. So please give our office a call, text us, or email us, and we'll be happy to do business with you.
Commercial Metals Company is still a locally operated company that's serving the people of East Tennessee with convenient hours of operation. Commercial Metals buys all types of scrap metal. Nothing is too big or too small. Still have that old clunker sitting around? We've been buying them for years. Commercial Metals are specialists in commercial scrap. We have what it takes to get any size job done. Commercial Metals encourages you to recycle responsibly. Scrap with only licensed dealers. Member of the TSRA and the ISRI. Commercial Metals Company. Turn that scrap into cash.
Daniel Forrester has been trusted by Anderson County families for nearly 2 decades. Daniel has appeared in Anderson County Chancery, Circuit, Sessions, and Juvenile Court thousands of times over the past decade. A Rule 31 mediator, Daniel has been trusted to mediate hundreds of cases across Anderson County. A community leader, Daniel has worked closely with local officials to make Anderson County a better place. A conservative and dedicated husband and father, Daniel's faith has shaped his character and integrity. On March 5th, vote Daniel Forrester for Anderson County Chancellor.
Medicare has helped millions of seniors, but it's changed a lot since it started in the 60s. It can be confusing. If Medicare is right around the corner for you, talk to a licensed agent on the Madison Insurance Group Senior Benefits team. They offer straight talk about Medicare, can make the transition seamless. If you already have a plan, let them take a look at it to make sure you're on the best path forward. Your future is the focus of Madison Insurance Group. Call today.
At Ferris, we want you to get the most out of your time and end each day feeling good. That's why we pioneered exclusive lawnmower suspension technology, allowing for full-speed mowing, even over the roughest terrain. Grow your business by getting more done in less time with Ferris. Ferris. Work hard, feel good. Found exclusively at independent Ferris dealers.
Our story starts with a promise made to the communities of East Tennessee. A promise to always look forward, to the horizon, and past it. A promise to help you live well. At Covenant Health, whenever you enter one of our hospitals, visit any of our physicians, or talk to us on the phone, we will welcome you and your family as one of our own. Because it's about you, and it's about time. Covenant Health. For every moment.
Dad always worked hard, and even though he could never tell me exactly what he did at the lab, I knew he was doing it for us. He was always there for me, for all of us. But now it's my turn to keep him safe. It's good to know there's help.
To find out how to get all the benefits you or your loved one has earned with their medical benefits card, call the home option and see how we can help.
Welcome back to another great episode of Graham's Gridiron Guidance. I'm your host, Coach DJ Pendergrass, alongside with my main man, the guru. You better not think about football without thinking about Coach Kwayu Graham. And he's brought in one of his compadres here. He just said some stuff during this break that we're going to talk about right here. Coach Scotty Dice, how you guys doing?
Doing well, man.
So we know we have some great games coming up, but before we get into that, we will do some live streaming for that Cofield and Olive Springs game. But before we get into that, we want to talk about the Rivalry Showcase and the Showcase Combine. Coach Scotty Dice.
Yes, sir.
Man, thank you so much for what you do. And the Rivalry Showcase, give us a little bit of insight of what your role is and how we're moving forward.
Well, my role is kind of like with Kwayu and Coach Mark Packer. We came together and started this a couple of years ago. I think he's going into his third season. Mm-hmm. We wanted to do something to kind of showcase not only the high school football players, but the cheerleaders, band members, and everybody in the community to come out and have a night to kind of showcase Knoxville area football. I mean, you always hear the rumors of, this team could beat some team out of Knoxville, or these kids in Knoxville are better than this kid. So at some point in time, we got together, started talking like, hey, what a great idea would it be not to play surrounding counties versus Knox County. Let's see what happens. And I think the two games have been within 7 points, if I'm thinking. Right. I mean, each team has won a game, both by 7 points. The atmosphere at the game is fantastic. I think Mark has done a really good job with everything, the fireworks and things of that nature, the DJ's playing. I mean, so it's just a great event. So, I mean, this year it's going to be at Sevier County High School on December the 9th. Practice will be at Webb and Grace Christian for the teams. It's just a great event to come out. We hope everybody can come out in Sevier County and celebrate the kids. With a lot of kids the last night of football. So.
Absolutely.
Right. What a lot of people really don't realize is how competitive the practices are.
Yeah.
And the college scouts come in and look at players, and it's been players picked up from that All-Star game. It's a great opportunity for players. And like Scotty said, part of the reason was to give those kids one more good experience.
Absolutely.
And not just the football players, but the band members, the cheerleaders, but more importantly, the parents, and even the communities. Our first year, Scotty and I and Mark, we all wanted to make sure it's easier with Knox County to put together teams. But when you go with the outside teams, we wanted somehow to get our kids that are in smaller markets noticed and give them that opportunity so someone can say, hey, it's on TV. I seen Johnny Smith son playing, and they stay at home and watch, or for us, they come to the game and watch. So it's a great opportunity for everyone in this area. And now it's starting to get a little competition. It's starting to get a little talking going on between the Knoxville people and the East Tennessee.
Knoxville versus everybody, Coach.
That's what they say, but it's East Tennessee is they bring it. Both of them bring it. Knoxville does a great job.
So I heard you say both of them are tied, right? So when both has a win, do either one of you have a pick this year?
I've been wrong both years. I've been wrong. First year I seen all with the Mervilles and the Greenvilles, and I just said they're gonna have too many weapons. Just looking at the running backs, but Knoxville came, and Knoxville was physical.
Yeah, yeah.
And they didn't. When you look at the practice, East Tennessee looked like I would call, because you was at East Tennessee, and I was calling. I said, Scotty, they gonna kill Knoxville.
Hey, they look good. They did. So
Scotty would say, man, yeah, they look good. They look good.
You got your pick, Coach?
I mean, this year I'm going to pick East Tennessee this year because I'm helping coach East Tennessee.
There you go.
Coach Pankey's the head coach of East Tennessee, and surrounding coaches. So I'm on that coaching staff this year. I mean, and like Kwayu said, the best thing about this event is when you get a chance to have kids from Cofield, Harriman, Rockwood, and some of the smaller communities come out, because I grew up, and I didn't grow up. My son grew up playing in Kingston, and so we got to know those rivalries and those teams. And those communities come out and they love their football team.
Oh, yeah.
Friday night shuts the town down. I mean, it's a great game. I mean, had the pleasure of being part of the Rockwood Harriman.
Right.
I mean, Harriman Kingston. And first time I was in that game, and there's standing room only, you realize, okay, football is important in these places.
Absolutely.
I mean, and that's what this game kind of represents, is how important it is for the communities, how important it is for the kids to be a part of it. And I mean, it's just a fun event. And the flip side of it is too also the combine. I mean, that'll be the Sunday before, I think December the 3rd, for some of the younger kids to come out and see how they rank and are tested across the kids from across the country.
Yes.
I mean, that standard SAT test that they give has been great. Kids have gotten a lot of feedback from that and know what they need to work on to where they can develop their skills to where they one day can be the kids y'all talking about on Friday night.
Correct me if I'm wrong. This combine, this is the same tools and instruments that is used in the NFL combine,
yes,
correct?
It's the exact same.
So you know exactly where you are compared to the NFL.
Exactly to what they're looking at. In their age group, you're compared for your percentile across the kid your age across the country. So you know you're in the top percentile. You've got a pretty good chance of being a pretty good football player.
Right.
So I mean, it is a good thing. I mean, it doesn't take long. I mean,
I ran that 40, Coach.
Okay. All right. So you know.
I ran that 40.
Yeah,
Coach.
you did. This spring you did. He went out 30. Well, it's on you.
Yeah,
that's what we say.
That's right.
And you know, and the thing about the testing with the SAT testing and Mike Weinstein with Zybex Sports, it tells you where you're at, where you should be, and ways that you can increase.
Right.
That's what our reports. You know, the combine is great, but the benefit of the combine is the reports.
Right.
And I know I'm gonna mention his name. Eubanks plays for Oak Ridge. Yeah. His father, they come every time we have one. We're going back to the Zybex SAT testing. We didn't do that last year, but we're going back to the testing to go back to get those reports to where they have the wristbands and everything is documented, and you can get those reports and see where you're at.
Right.
So we're going back to that this year, and we're excited about it, and we're taking ages from
4th grade through 12th.
4th grade through 12th, and it's great if a lot of people are investing in these programs and trainers and things like that. I've had a trainer tell me that, man, I appreciate this. I can see what they need work on. If a kid has a start and it's going to take every stat that's needed. If his start is fine and his finish is fine, then we got to get him stronger to get him through the midway part of it. So it's little things like that this testing does, and the thing that Scotty and I are going to do, we're going to have this in the winter and this season, and then in the spring we're having it again, and we're also having a youth. For the young kids, so they can learn what standardized testing is. Because the truth of the matter is, it's a business now.
Now, where's the combine at?
The combine is going to be at Grace.
And when is it?
It is December the 3rd.
I think it's Sunday.
Sunday. I think it's December. I don't have a calendar in front of me.
Guys, make sure
first is Friday,
you get out
second
there.
to third.
The cool thing about it, like he said, the testing, I was a part of it. I actually did it, and I tested off the charts. There was nobody compared. It was my age.
Yeah. We're going to call Mr. Benjamin and make sure we get the true stats.
I beat Mr. Benjamin by 0.2 seconds, so I am the reigning champ at the 40, and if you want some, come get some. Appreciate that. I appreciate that. That's good information. So make sure you guys show up for that. The Rivalry Showcase is going to be amazing. Make sure you guys show up for that. Now, we talked about everything, what's important about it, the combine, where it's going to be. The Rivalry Showcase, I have to take commercial break, but I want to know, how do you guys come up with colors for the teams?
That some things Scotty and I stay out of. That's a Mark Packer deal.
Okay.
So yeah.
So is there one logo for both of them, or is it two logos?
One logo for both of them. Of course, the East Tennessee got a different logo for the helmet or whatever, but the kids wear their own helmets. But again, I shout out to E2 Sports for what they do for the community on that, for the game. So they're a big part of that. So
Gotcha. We appreciate it. Hey guys, we got to take a small commercial break. We have some exciting news. Olive Springs, Cofield, you know what it is. We have a lot of more great games coming up as well. We'll see you right back in a minute.
Commercial Metals Company is still a locally operated company that's serving the people of East Tennessee with convenient hours of operation. Commercial Metals buys all types of scrap metal. Nothing is too big or too small. Still have that old clunker sitting around? We've been buying them for years. Commercial Metals are specialists in commercial scrap. We have what it takes to get any size job done. Commercial Metals encourages you to recycle responsibly. Scrap with only licensed dealers. Member of the TSRA and the ISRI. Commercial Metals Company. Turn that scrap into cash.
Our story starts with a promise made to the communities of East Tennessee. A promise to always look forward, to the horizon, and past it. A promise to help you live well. At Covenant Health, whenever you enter one of our hospitals, visit any of our physicians, or talk to us on the phone, we will welcome you and your family as one of our own. Because it's about you, and it's about time. Covenant Health. For every moment.
Hi, I'm State Farm Agent Scotty Dykes. While the insurance industry has changed over the years, our office offers auto, home, life, mortgages, and many other banking services, including retirement planning. So please give our office a call, text us, or email us, and we'll be happy to do business with you.
Daniel Forrester has been trusted by Anderson County families for nearly 2 decades. Daniel has appeared in Anderson County Chancery, Circuit, Sessions, and Juvenile Court thousands of times over the past decade. A Rule 31 mediator, Daniel has been trusted to mediate hundreds of cases across Anderson County. A community leader, Daniel has worked closely with local officials to make Anderson County a better place. A conservative and dedicated husband and father, Daniel's faith has shaped his character and integrity. On March 5th, vote Daniel Forrester for Anderson County Chancellor.
Earl Duff Pre-Owned Center in Harriman is your one-stop shop for vehicle sales and service. The Duff family is open for business for everything automotive. We offer fully inspected, dependable pre-owned vehicles, and most come with a powertrain warranty at no extra cost. We also have a complete service department equipped for maintenance and repairs on all makes and models.
Don't settle for less with your next pre-owned vehicle purchase. Come to Earl Duff Pre-Owned Center in Harriman or online at duffpreowned.com.
Dad always worked hard, and even though he could never tell me exactly what he did at the lab, I knew he was doing it for us. He was always there for me, for all of us. But now it's my turn to keep him safe. It's good to know there's help.
To find out how to get all the benefits you or your loved one has earned with their medical benefits card, call the home option and see how we can help.
Medicare has changed a lot since it started in the 60s, and all those changes can make it really confusing. If Medicare is right around the corner for you, talk to a licensed agent on the Madison Insurance Group Senior Benefits team. They'll give you straight talk about Medicare. They can make the transition seamless. If you already have a plan, they can take a look to make sure you're on the best path forward. Your future is the focus at Madison Insurance Group. Call today.
Welcome back. We're here, Graham's Gridiron Guidance. I'm your host, Coach DJ Pendergrass, alongside Mr. Scotty Dice and Mr. The Man, the Guru, the Legend, Kwayu Graham. Guys, last week, round 2. Oh, listen, I know you guys are upset because we had the best show ever last week, and if you didn't see it, make sure you tune in and go back and watch it. It was probably the best show, but we left out some key components of the show. But it's all right because we're going to make it up this week, ain't that right, Coach? We'll make it up this week, so the phone lines are open. You got anything to call in and talk about, make sure you go ahead and do that now. You have any questions for the guru, Coach Kwayu Graham, make sure you do that, 865-483-8112, or you can call us toll-free at 866-412-8112. Round 2, guys. 16 teams was left. Now there are 8. Let's talk about the 16 that was there. Alva Springs 34, Greenback 12. Alva Springs has the wheels under them.
Well, Oliver Springs can score. Their offense is exciting. The big guys played well that game. Once they jump on you, there wasn't anything they can do. Oliver Springs playing well.
Yeah, they fly to the ball, man. They're good. Now, who they have this week is Cofield. Looks like they took care of business versus Rockwood, 31-0.
On a mission.
Cofield is always on a mission, and it's been said that all they do is win. York Institute, they took down Oneida pretty convincingly, 34-7. Any feedback on that game, Coach?
No, just Oneida. You know, they knew coming in. Our coach, when we talked early in the season, he knew that they would compete, and that's what they're doing. They're going to always compete. York Institute is a dang good 2A football team.
Mm-hmm. It looked like Gatlinburg Pittman had a 12th man because Kingston did not show up one.
That shocked me.
That was 48-7. I did not see that coming. Kingston went to Gatlinburg Pittman, and that home crowd and that game turned out to be unbelievable.
That was very shocking. You know, and I will say Coach Wagner's doing a great job.
Yeah.
He's doing a great job there.
They were on our schedule. That team's loaded with talent. I mean, they've got 3 Division I players. Tailbacks, great. I understand they got a transfer tailback in. It's just good. I mean, the receiver and tight end, really good team. But again, I was shocked by the score because I knew Kingston would be a physical team. I thought they'd give them problems, but.
Well, sorry to cut you off, Dykes, but this part of the year, the fronts dictate a lot.
Yes.
And Kingston front is pretty good.
Yeah,
I mean,
man,
pretty
both
good.
sides of the ball.
And it was shocking, which actually has me excited to watch Gatlinburg Pittman and Alcoa.
Yeah. Absolutely.
You know.
Absolutely. Well said, Coach. Anderson County took care of business versus Elizabethton. They have their wheels under them as well, 21-7.
I watched that game. That was Anderson County played well. Second half, they took it over. And you can tell. And you remember I told everyone early, I said, you know, some teams have a championship pedigree. Anderson County is one of my favorite programs. I'm very proud of what Davey has done there and his supporting cast that's with him. But they're winning. They're winning in youth league. They're winning in middle school, and they're winning. So it's a mindset that they have. Great team, and they played another great program in Coach Whitten, well-coached team in Elizabeth.
It'll be a very interesting dynamic this week when Anderson County plays Greenville. I mean, obviously, Isaiah Hall started off at Greenville. Now he's at Anderson County, so I'm sure he's got a lot to prove this week. And obviously one of the best quarterbacks in the area. Yeah. So I mean, I'm interested to see how that plays
Isaiah
out.
been a couple places.
Yeah. Yes, he has been, but a great player. So it's going to be interesting to see. I know he wants to win that game really bad, so I'll be tuned in for that.
What's that river that runs through there between Greenville and Newport?
The French bra.
Yeah, if the bra
pigeon.
If that French pigeon brawl would have fit, he might would have been at Cotton County High School, and Coach Gaddis would have made sure that he stayed around.
Coach Gaddis.
He would have made sure that he stayed around. I'll make sure to talk to Joe about that and see how Joe let that, how Scotty let that guy go.
I'm not messing with Coach Gaddis tonight.
All right, and moving on, Oak Ridge versus Clinton. We've talked about that game already. It's just a great game. Both teams deservingly needed to be there. Dozier had a quiet 148 yards rushing. It didn't seem like it because Clinton's defense was outstanding.
Clinton did a good job of getting to the ball and tackling. And what I like watching the game is that there was a rhyme to the reason, you know, what they did. And with Oak Ridge, offensively, quarterback is going to be dang good. They got some great receivers.
Yes.
Dozier You know, maybe if the temperature would have been changed a little bit, they would have just fed Dozier for some good old-fashioned football. But, you know, and someone called, you know, on my little thing where they ask a question for Coach Graham for the show. Yeah. Why didn't they just run the football?
Run. Yeah, I heard that a lot.
And, you know what I said? Being a coach, I say this. I wasn't at practice. I wasn't on the sideline. I didn't watch any film.
Right. They had a plan.
So there was a reason. Derek Rain is, I consider him a friend of mine. I've known him before he got here. He's a heck of a coach, and he's won the big one. So
yes, he has.
I'm not going to question the whys that they did. Only thing I know is this, and I'm going to say this. This is my show, so I get a chance to say this. It's a young man that's been taking a lot. For the game from Oak Ridge. He's a young kid.
Yeah.
And I'm going to say this. Don't know who responsibility or fault it was. Don't know. But I'm going to put this out there. 4 plays, I promise. I'm okay with math. I'm pretty good with math. I will promise you there was more than 4 plays in that game.
Amen to that, Coach.
Okay. So I don't know who, what, when, or whatever.
Yeah.
But one thing I did do that a lot of people that's talking didn't do was play the game. I've been out there. And so to know that a young guy, and I'm going to say this too, because I love those kids. If I got a youngster with me, I'm going to always protect him.
Yes.
That's my job as an upperclassman. I'm going to make sure he's right.
That's right.
So I said that to say, when you're in a team game, and if my Austin East kids are watching, because some of them do, one of my favorite saying, well, not my favorite saying, kids always say that I said it, was no blame, no shame, no excuses. Do your job.
That's right. That's
you know, so I had to say that.
Well, I'll tell you what, Cuz I know who you're talking about, and I love that kid, and everybody asks me about him, and I always give him his flowers. I think he is going to be one of them guys, right? Especially on the offensive side of the ball. That's why I express my gratitude for the young man. But I always talk about Rocky Top football. My son, LaDainian, you know LaDainian, when he got thrown out at cornerback, I think he was like, 8, 9 years old.
You got thrown out the game?
No, at cornerback. No, he was, when he got put at the position cornerback, he was like 8, 9 years old.
Acting like 8.
It was 2 plays that happened against us that went to his side, and he was the reason why we lost the game. On the route home, I told his mother, I said, I hate that happened to our son. But I guarantee you he's going to remember that, and when he comes back the next year, he's going to be a better player. LaDainian's been a shutdown corner ever since. So.
Yeah, right. Well, he has. I coach him. So, I mean, not that I coach him to be that shutdown corner, because really I just stand out there.
Right. Nah, you coach him, Coach.
But
I appreciate you.
But he's gonna be special. But all those kids, it's kind of and I don't want to harp on this Clinton Oak Ridge game. There was a bunch of other things we can talk about. But Oak Ridge is home where I play, where I work. And those kids, I see them every day. They, Coach Graham, hey, can you get my transcript for me? Can you send my film off? So, those are my guys. But I'm also very, very proud of my friend and like a brother to me, Don Colquitt.
Yes.
I'm so proud of him. I'm so proud of another friend of mine, Coach Keith. And a lot of their coaches. I built a relationship with a lot of their coaches. Yeah. And you hate for either team to lose, and you're proud of both teams when they won. My mom said this. She said, we win either way, So for Clinton, congratulations. But if you're doing inventory on Saturday, that Oak Ridge game don't mean a whole lot.
Well, I do want to move on because we got a lot of ground to cover. Make sure you call in. It's 865-483-8112, 866-412-8112. I did give Coach Keith a call after his victory, and the only thing I had to say to him is do not let Oak Ridge. I don't want to underplay your victory. Congrats, Coach, for beating Oak Ridge, but don't let that be your state championship. So good luck to Clinton moving forward. Game of the week. Alva Springs Bobcats, Cofield. They said all they do is win at Cofield. Oliver Springs can't keep their composure. They play well, but they can't keep their composure for 4 quarters to beat a Cofield. Scotty Dykes, talk about a little bit about this rivalry.
This is one of the most fierce rivalries in East Tennessee. I mean, these kids get after it. I mean, I've coached at Harriman for like 8 years, and this is personal.
Yeah.
I mean, the people in Cofield, you know, they don't like Olive Springs. Olive Springs don't like Cofield.
5.1 miles away.
Yeah, and they're in fighting distance.
Yeah.
And when they're on the field, they're fighting. I mean, that's exciting to see. I mean, as long as it's done in a respectful way, and they go out there and play hard, and they get after each other.
Absolutely.
And it's a physical football game, and I guarantee there's going to be a lot of things said in the stands.
Oh, yeah.
And it's family versus family when it boils down to it. And I mean, so it's going to be a good game.
Absolutely. You have a winner?
If I had to pick a team, I'll go with Cofield.
Go with Cofield. Coach, what's your insight on this game of the week? That will be live. It will be streamed live.
Well, my big thing is you better get to Waffle House or Applebee's early, because one of those teams are going to fill it up. You know. So, but once again, Coach Napier. And what do you call him, a big guy?
Coach Mr. Biggs.
Mr. Biggs.
Mr.
You
Biggs,
know, both of you guys have done a great job.
Coach.
And this game is going. This is a 3rd round game in the playoffs.
Yes.
So flip a coin.
8 teams left. We got a caller on the line. Let's take our first call. Thanks for calling in to Coach Graham's Gridiron Guidance. Who do we have on the phone?
The Clinton Dragons on the phone.
L-Dog.
How you doing, Colin? Tell us a little bit about the Clinton Oak Ridge game, brother, or do you have a question for Coach Graham?
I got a question for Coach Graham. How about them Dragons?
Yeah, they got a big one. They got a big one on Friday, man, and I hope they poised to get another one. Keep it here. Keep it in Anderson County. Keep going.
Yeah, they got a big one, Coach. But Coach Keith, he deserves a lot of credit, though.
He does. He does. He's done a job, you know, to make the playoffs, and then to win a game in the playoffs. Well, was 2019 last time they were in the playoffs?
Yeah.
And then won a game, and now they're in the 3rd round. So to him, it just shows his love for Clinton and not giving up and continue to move forward. But like I said, if you're doing inventory on Saturday, the win this week don't mean that much.
Absolutely. You have any other questions for Coach?
But tell DJ he got the wrong color on.
Actually, I don't, because if you know the history of the Norwood Jaguars, I had actually started coaching there, and the reason why is because we was going to filter kids into Clinton High School. So anybody that goes to Norwood is grandfathered into Clinton High School. That's the Anderson County School. Thank you for calling in, caller. The lines are still open, 865-483-8112, or you can call toll-free at 866-412-8112. Shout out to Norwood Jaguars. Yeah, y'all get that football program rolling back. I'll be back out there, and we'll filter more over in the Clinton.
That seemed a little hostile right there, the way you hung up on it.
It wasn't. We're on time, and I know other people want to call, so I didn't want to overdo that.
Yeah, I understand.
Mr. Clinton, we love you. We thank you for your support. You're one of our biggest supporters. You know ain't nothing but love right there.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, that was good. You know how to hit them switches.
Bye.
My boy L-Dog like that. Now you ought to know that L-Dog is
that's my man.
Is a prime member of the Clinton entourage.
Yeah, he is, man.
I thought he was gonna get a flag out there watching TV. I said, "Who's that in the orange coat?" it was L-Dog. I don't know how he got on the sideline, but he did.
But this is Anderson County. The Jaguars, Norwood Jaguars. So. And they filter right in over the Clinton. So it's a salute. You just didn't know it.
That's something, you know, that it could Anderson County, Clinton, and Oliver Springs could be going to the semifinals.
If a lot of kids from Norwood go to Oliver Springs, right? If we could keep that bunch there and they wind up with some kids, right? It wouldn't be like Jefferson and Robertsville, but you would have 2 schools that's prime doing one thing moving forward to go towards Clinton.
Whatever happened to the idea of combining the Roane County schools to one?
Oliver Springs and Midway.
A lot of the schools, a lot of the schools down there didn't want to have this one school, and they even kicked around the idea of possibly having two.
Okay.
But that didn't work. I mean, those communities are real tight knit. Everybody wanted their own community, their own school.
I think the biggest thing was the mileage drive from Midway and Oliver Springs because they was going to put it at Rome State.
Wrong State, yeah. It's going to be a long. It's going to be a long way for a lot of the kids to come
so
to the
they
county.
was guesstimating how many deaths there was going to be of kids driving back and forth to school.
But then that's when the idea of two schools came. And that still wasn't going to suffice to everybody.
I think it'd be a good idea.
So.
Well, I tell you what, when they first came up, it might have been Coach Gaddis, and I know somebody that's, that coach, an older coach that has a history. And they said, man, could you imagine coaching that team?
Yeah, they would have been a great team. I mean, they would have been the biggest classification, but they would have held their own.
Yeah.
I mean, 'cause there's a lot of good football players.
Could you imagine the game between Oak Ridge and Roane County High School?
It would be nice.
That would be, woof.
Man. They would compete versus Ray County. They would compete versus, the Anderson County teams. They would be in contention.
Now, that doesn't mean Coalfield. Coalfield would have still been.
Coalfield was out of it. Yeah, that was Morgan County.
So there'd been Midway, Rockwood,
Oliver
Springs, Herman.
Yep.
Wow, that's still
tremendous.
That's still a lot of talent.
Still, Midway and Oliver Springs was the biggest and it got
makes sense.
Yeah, it got strong and heavy on that and then, like I said, it even brought up to, how many are we going to lose for this long trip? So, and they had to shoot it down.
Okay. I know what I want to talk about. I want to talk about Tennessee Vols in Georgia.
You know what? Although Tennessee played a horrific game versus Missouri, I think Tennessee Vols are going to come out and shock Georgia. I didn't say they was going to win.
Oh, I was going to say.
I do feel like they're going to have a better game. I think Georgia will be discombobulated at some point of the game, but as we all know, they have champion pedigree, and I think they will withstand the game and do what they need to do. But I do think Tennessee plays better this week.
I'll agree with you because they can't play much worse. I mean, let's just keep it real. I mean, defensively, they didn't play their best game, and offensively, I don't know what happened. So I do agree. I think the first half's really competitive. Time fourth quarter comes, I think Georgia just pulls away. I mean, they just got more talent, and they're playing really good football.
Yeah.
All right. So we have 1A. We have Oliver Springs and Coalfield.
Yes.
We're out 2A. 3A. We're out 3A.
Yeah.
4A. We have Anderson County and Greenville. What about the Anderson County Greenville game?
That's going to be a tight, and that's going to be a rough. That's going to be an environment you want to be at. So if that's a game that you can get to, you want to get there. Anderson County has their hands full with Greenville.
Mm-hmm.
They do. They have their hands full with Greenville. Greenville's a solid team. They play well all year long. They play well in the playoffs. I couldn't pick a team there. I just hope for a good game, good football.
What I know about Greenville, they have a lot of depth. They play a lot of kids, and Coach Spradlin, he's done a great job, continues to do a great job, and that's it's going to be tough.
Yeah.
To go into there, go into Greenville.
Yeah, because they're going to Greenville.
Yeah, that's going to be tough.
Going to Greenville.
You have Clinton plays Walker Valley.
Man, they got lucky that they are not in that same region because they granted them a home game. How does that work, Coach?
Yeah, they go by the bracket placing, because if you had two number one seeds, you had to pick one of them.
Right.
So that's kind of how that goes. And then the next one, it alternates.
Right.
Semifinal, it alternates, top, bottom. And so that's kind of what happened. I think I would have, looking at Clinton going on the road, they seem to be very focused if you look at it this year. How many home games did they win this year?
Not many, Coach.
Make you think.
Yeah.
But
they took care of business on the road.
So it's just so then you got to give Keith credit for that, for having a plan to go on the road and prepare and have his kids ready to play. But Walker Valley quarterback is special.
Mm-hmm.
He's a good ball player. He can run. He can throw. They got some good sized receivers. That's athletic. Clinton always offensively have to establish the running game. I know that Goins was a little banged up going into the Oak Ridge game, or it seemed that way. I heard David Clary say something
I don't know
like
if
that.
he was or not, but Chauncey stood up, man, and he came in and did what he needed
Phelps,
to do.
Phelps is the leader. He's one of the leaders in the team, and then Josh Keefe was doing Josh Keefe things.
Yeah. One of the biggest touchdown in Clinton history.
Marable was doing DeMond Marable things. Boy, he hit the kid quarterback. I felt for him. But that quarterback's tough. He's gonna be good. He's gonna be good. That ball he threw on that Oak Ridge is who I'm talking about.
Yeah.
Threw on that post route to number 2, where he threw it inside.
Yes.
Because the DB had outside leverage. He was in good coverage.
Yeah.
But he threw it inside, and it was a great catch by number 2. But Clinton, that's a game Clinton can win.
Yeah.
Clinton can win that game if they do the little
What
things.
you think, Scotty Dice? You think Clinton can take over that game and win?
I think they can win that game.
No, don't say that because you're
no,
compadre here. I
agree
need the
with
people
him.
want to know the truth.
I'm speaking the truth as best I know it.
Good deal.
I mean,
Good deal.
It's a good game. I mean, I think it's like you said, they fell into a good bracket.
Yeah.
They've got a good chance to make it to a semifinals.
Yeah.
I mean, they've got everything in place to have the game at home. I kind of disagree with Graham there. I mean, even though they played better on the road, it's playoff time. Everybody's gonna be excited. They're gonna feel that energy, and I think they come out and take that momentum.
The energy has been rolling ever since the Oak Ridge game, and I want to give a shout out to my buddy Brian Ford out there in Clinton. He was at Oak Ridge Boys and Girls Club, and then that was before the transition.
Yeah, he does that Dragon Vision thing.
He does Dragon Visions with him and DJ Taylor, but guys, the momentum for fans to come out has started with Brian Ford saying, hey, let's support these guys. Let's raise the money to do this. I seen it was $2,300 raised in 3 hours for them to get support for people to come to this Walker Valley game. So shout out to you, buddy. Keep working. Keep working.
Yeah, they a lot of people excited about Clinton and the opportunity they have in front of them. And if they do the little things, they take care of the things they're supposed to. Penalties, turnovers, and you look back at their schedule, it's like they killed themselves. So, and I think they done grew up, and they have an identity on defense. Offensively, they have more of an identity. And when you talk about them, they're one of the teams that last year they had the number 1 offense in 5A football. They ain't lose many people off that offense. So you always have to be, they can score on you. And then when you go to the Oliver Springs and Coalfield game, that's a rivalry. It's third round, big plays, and the big plays are on Oliver Springs' side. Coalfield cannot let Oliver Springs make big plays and get up on them, because if they get up on them, it'll be hard to come back because they're so athletic on the back end. But Coalfield have been there before. They've done that. So that plays a major part as well, as with teams and players and coaches that have been there, and coaches especially that have done that. And a lot of people don't even realize this. Scotty, you know this. When Scotty was a coach on the state championship team at Austin East with us, when we went to North Carolina, we learned how to win a championship. We learned that, number 1, you can't let your kids just stay at the hotel. You gotta make sure
somebody's watching them.
Itinerary has to be, and even then in the state we wasn't perfect.
We were close.
But what we learned is that, and what our kids learned, the biggest thing they learned that year we did win the state was the pace of the game. Because when you watched Independence, when they had meetings, you could see their kids walking to their meeting focused. Because our kids out there probably throwing rocks at each other. Those kids were walking, and it was, and they came out the stretch. It was boom, 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 everything, and then on every play, just the pace of the game. And when we came back and played other teams, that pace was different. And now that I say that, Chris Leak reminds me of Josh Keith. Just the mannerisms. Their mannerisms are kind of similar. I never thought about that till just now.
I remember that name, Chris Lake.
Yeah, you should have. I remember they had 2 All-American receivers too. Rayleigh, Lyons. And then the young kid that went to.
Massaquoi. They were loaded.
They were loaded. There are a lot of NFL players on that team. We got to see them. And a lot of confetti. Shout out to Kenny.
Guys, don't forget, streaming live is the game of the week. Cofield versus Oliver Springs. And as you know, Coach, I'm a huge Oliver Springs fan.
Right.
A lot of those guys are, I've coached and seen them play. But the same goes for Cofield. There's several kids on that team, or at least 2 or 3 that I know I've coached or played against. And my advice for Cofield is, do Cofield things. Don't let the moment be too big. Just continue to do Cofield things and, be great as you are. Always win. And my advice for Oliver Springs is do what you did last time. Make sure you bring the energy, bring the crowd. But most importantly, you got to get 3 and 11 involved in your offense, whatever it is. I don't know a kid in the state that can guard 11 one-on-one, period. So I just hope you guys are able to utilize that.
And I would say this to, like you said with Cofield, be Cofield. And to Oliver Springs, I'm just going to say this overall in the game. It's said that you don't want to keep fighting the same person. Gridge, you don't want to keep fighting the same person. Eventually, they're going to catch up with you.
That's right.
And I have the Henrys. I think a lot of them, but it's a lot of friends in Cofield. But this is going to be a good game.
Yeah, I agree. What you think, Coach?
Like I said, it's going to be classic Cofield Oliver Springs game. Those teams get
What
together.
suggestion would you give any of them?
Keep your composure. That's what is a suggestion I would give either team. Go out there, understand the game plan, keep your composure, execute your game plan, and that will cause some team to win. Right. Somebody's going to make a mistake at some point in the game where emotions is going to affect it.
That's right.
And that's going to lead to a big play.
No doubt. We have a caller on the line. Let's take line 1. Thank you for calling Graham's Gridiron Guidance. Caller, who's on the line?
This is Howard Hester.
How you doing, Howard Hester?
Hey, doing pretty good. How you doing?
Oh, blessed, man. Thank you for calling in to the show. You got a comment or a question for Coach Kwayu, Graham?
No, I don't have any questions. Kwayu, about 2 weeks ago or 3 weeks ago, Coach Pendergrass was talking about getting Fitton involved more, number 11, which I agree with you. There's nobody that can cover him. If he could gain about 30 pounds, and he'd be something else. Now, I'm telling you, he's got the ability. And I think if Oliver Springs will open it up against Cofield and use them kids, like you said 2 weeks ago, which they've used him more in the last 2 weeks in the playoffs. He's caught 2 or 3 touchdown passes.
Oh, yeah. I think he had 2 or 3 last week.
Right.
Yeah.
They can't. But the only thing Oliver Springs need to do is clean up their act. They had 165 yards worth of penalties out there at Cofield the last time they played them.
They did.
If they'll clean up their act and open it up a little bit and give it to Mason Day, they can't handle them.
I agree, Coach. I really do. We know how great Cofield is and the history of them. But those guys you just named, Mason Day, you even got Dakota, the quarterback, Liam Bokey, they have a great repertoire.
Throw the ball if they give him time to get it down the field. He can throw it.
Absolutely. Hey, caller, thanks for calling in. We greatly appreciate it. Are you going to the game?
Yeah, I'll be there with bells on.
All right. Hope to see you there.
And we're going to have them Norwood kids coming to Oliver Springs, not up Clinton.
Now, one thing I do want to ask, what is the final score of the game of the week?
I think it'll be in the neighborhood of maybe Oliver Springs, probably 21-14 or something like that.
I like it. Well, go Bobcats and good luck. We appreciate you calling in.
Hey, thank you.
Somebody agree with me, Coach.
No, he didn't like what you said, trying to send those kids off to Clinton.
Well, besides that. But my thing was, I wasn't saying that. I'm saying that there's a lot of kids that are interested in sports that should be going to Norwood Middle School that are probably at Oliver Springs or Cofield. or somewhere else. And if there was a program at Norwood Middle School, as we started years ago, it'd be easy. You know all that locker room drama Clinton had? Man, that'd be filtered right out because his grandfather right in.
Right.
That was the idea.
That, just make sure he understands.
Guys, we don't have enough time to take another phone call. We really appreciate all the support that you give us. If you have this podcast and you're watching it, go ahead and share it with somebody now. Sharing is caring. Don't hold it all in. Let somebody else see. We really appreciate you. Coach Scotty Dykes, we appreciate you coming on today.
Thanks
I hope you can come back with us again. That was amazing. Coach Kwayu, close us out here.
Well, I want to say this. First of all, also Sean Miller won another tournament. These youth tournaments, they keep having them. But lastly, to everybody, have a safe next week. Have safe holidays, and remember what the season is about.
Absolutely, absolutely. Thank you very much. This is another great edition of Graham's Gridiron Guide and Scotty Dykes. Coach DJ Pendergrass, Kwayu Graham. We'll see you next week at 8.
Be blessed.